showcasing the cheek side of motherhood.
When I found content creation, I realized that this is more like my passion. Like I work Saturdays, Sundays, but it doesn't feel like work. Like I love what I do.
She's breaking all societal norms.
Present yourself in a very authentic way and be there to inspire rather than influence.
NewsX influencer A-List proudly recognizes Shrima Rai for influence in lifestyle. Hello and welcome. You're joining us on yet another episode of NewsX Influencer A-List. With us today on the broadcast is Shrima Rai. Shrima is known on the internet for redefining motherhood and bringing out the cheek style of motherhood. Am I right, Shrima?
Well, I'm trying, yes.
All right. So tell us about what you do firstly, the kind of content that you create.
So I mostly do everything from fashion, beauty to lifestyle. So I do cover a little bit of my fitness journey as a mom of two, and I do like to cook. So I do showcase a lot of cooking and recipes. And I also cover my love of fashion and beauty. And of course, the kids are a big part of my page as well. So it's like a lifestyle side of being a mother, but like handling everything.
So what is it like, Shrima, to be a mother and to be a blogger, to be an influencer? What is it like, is there anything that ever comes in the way of you being yourself on the internet because you're a mother? Does that ever come in the way?
So I think for me, no. I think that's one of the main reasons and a driving factor to my blog is that I want to break all those like stereotypes and those boxes that, maybe even society might have a married woman or a mother put into. So I don't like to have any of those things in my blog, and I definitely don't see any limitations.
So how do you manage both, being a mother, attending to kids, and then also being an influencer full time? Are the kids looking up to you, or are they considering being a digital content creator in the future?
Well, I'll answer the first question because I love this question. I feel like on social media, people see a lot of times a very stylized, curated page, right? And whether you're an influencer or not, we can all go ahead and put out our best images and our best moments on the gram and on social media. So I'm really conscious of that. And because I do so much, whether I'm an influencer or during the time that I was working with a bank, I definitely don't think that I can be a working woman and do as much as I can by myself. So I never give that impression that, hey, I'm handling everything by myself. I'm doing cooking, cleaning, and everything. So I do have help at home. My husband is so supportive, and I have kept some help to help me with the kids as well. And I think sometimes it's okay to, verbalize that and say that. So we don't give other women complexes about, them being able to do everything themselves. So right from the beginning, I've always been really honest about that fact because I didn't want to mislead my audience to thinking that I'm like some sort of superwoman, because I don't think a woman should be pressurized to feel that.
So and to answer your... Go ahead.
And to answer your second question, no, the kids don't want to be digital content creators.
Okay. So very interesting that you pointed out that, societal norms do exist. Do you ever feel, Shrima, there are any societal barriers or any boxes, like you said during our conversation, you highlighted, are there any such boxes that you ever felt existed? And are you trying to sort of, push the glass ceiling and break those barriers?
Yes, absolutely. I did feel there were some boxes. I did feel that there were some expectations of me about how I would conduct myself as a married woman, or even like how I'm, handling the fashion and beauty world along with being a mother. How I dress, perhaps also what I choose to put out there on my page. Like, let's say, for example, if I'm putting out a swimsuit, I think that sometimes people can get very judgmental at times. You're a mom, you shouldn't be dressing like that, etc. And these type of things are exactly why I have a page like I do, because I want to sort of break all those stereotypes. And yes, I did feel it. And that's why I sort of decided to create a page that was absolutely against that type of thinking or that boxing.
So, very interesting that you mentioned that, people raise their eyebrows when you put out certain content. So like you said, if you're putting out a bikini picture, then there are questions that are raised. Where is the line then, Shrima, between empowerment and between, being objectified on digital media? Because as women, we face that a lot, right? There is constant
Yeah.
objectification that also happens. Where do you draw that line?
I think that line can be drawn by you, by the way you conduct yourself. I can be sexy in a sari and I can be sexy in a two-piece. To be very honest with you, that's how I feel. I think it's all about the way you conduct yourself and the way that you present yourself in that attire.
Yeah.
And that has a lot to do with whether you're feeling objectified or not. I think that's the best way forward for
And that also should never be something that is the prime focus, right? Because at the end of the day, you're a digital content creator. And when we look at celebrities, celebrities are not, such questions are not put out for them. Do you think it's different in the digital media space? Do you think there's a certain difference that comes in?
Yeah, to a little extent, yes, I do. I think that because people don't see us necessarily as someone who has a social media page, they don't necessarily see you as a celebrity, right? They see you just as like, their neighbor, perhaps, or the mom in the neighborhood. So yeah, there is a little bit of a differentiation there.
So you mentioned that, you were a banker. And from that, you went on to be a social media influencer. You do fashion, you do beauty, you do lifestyle. What is that like? Why move from, a job that is considered to be rather, and, quote unquote, stable to a job that people say, is unstable and what is the future? Why that transition, if I may ask you?
So I always wanted to do something creative. And I was always interested, honestly, as a child in singing and acting and, like more creative lines and writing. I used to love to write. But I think that like somewhere down the line, I knew that I was expected to do something a little bit more stable in my career, coming from a traditional South Indian family. And so I definitely wanted, to go ahead and get a business management degree and have a resume with a bank, that I can always fall back on. That's really the honest answer. But over the years, I realized after I had done the banking job for a while, I realized that I liked it, but I didn't love it. And when I found content creation, I realized that this is more like my passion. Like I work Saturdays, Sundays, but it doesn't feel like work. Like I love what I do. And I think I'm really grateful to have been able to find it and pursue it the way that I am.
So, you're of course blue ticked on Instagram, which is something that we consider to be the epitome, if I may say, of being an influencer, right? From where you see it, Shrima, is it more about the influence that you have on the audience or the kind of people and the number of people, in fact, that are following you? From what perspective do you see this?
Well, I got the blue tick a little earlier. I have not reached like the 100K number yet or anything like that. But I did have a little bit of media attention in the sense that I did compete in a Glad Rags Mrs. India 2009 contest. And I had some news articles. I was really lucky, to have some media houses sort of, take my interviews and my journey. And I think all of that helped with my presence. I think your presence, especially on in the media, also helps you with that blue tick, if that's what you're asking. And it is something that I feel when people see it on a social media page, it just sort of gives, I'm really being honest with you, I think it just gives a certain amount of legitimacy, to that page. Okay. And I think that's why it's so important.
And that legitimacy, also probably comes from, being covered, like you said, in the news media or, having articles posted about you. So then, how important is it that we bring television to digital and digital to television? The fact that we just integrate the two, combine the two and make a larger ecosystem, if I may say so.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you on this thought. I think social media and also television and these type of mediums are wonderful. And I think that they sort of run almost parallel. It's just
Yeah.
that they need to synergize a little bit better. And the amount of good work that you can do with this type of, audience and the type of reach that we can combine would be like amazing. And I think that's one of the most positive things that I can say about, having this type of reach that television has and having the type of reach that social media has.
So have your family and friends completely accepted the fact that you're an influencer now? Or, is somebody still going and saying, why Shrima, why this?
I think most of them have accepted it, and they don't fully understand everything. Of course, it is a little bit of a different line. It's something of like a new age type of career, right? So in that manner, I don't think they completely understand it, but I definitely feel like I won them over as far as the respect and the fact that this is what I want to do and I'm passionate about it.
Yeah, circling back to, where we started, because I'm running out of time. One message, Shrima, if you could put out there for mothers, who want to do digital content creation, what is it that they should keep in mind? Or what are the advantages that you see as a mom blogger on the internet?
I think, there's two questions. So one is, if I had to speak to somebody who was newly starting out as a mom blogger or any type of blogging, fashion, lifestyle, anything, I would say that, present yourself in a very authentic way and be there to inspire rather than influence.
Yeah.
And secondly, as far as, what is it that, they can take from it, I would definitely say it can be a source of great inspiration for you. You gain so much confidence from it. You learn so much. There's a wonderful community out there in the blogging space. And also, it's really nice to have a job like this because you can manage, the kids. It's like work from home and creative. So if you have that in you, then go for it. If you're completely business minded, then probably not for you because it takes a lot of creativity.
Yeah. All right. Shrima, thank you so much for being with us on the broadcast. It has been an absolute pleasure having you, and more power to you.
Thank you so much for having me.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.